and found the World Trade Towers attacks described in Presages 72 and 74. From this book, 6 quatrains and 11 sestets were re-examined, with many actual dated historical events and described CD-ROM pictures being identified. From this CD-ROM, these pictures form part of its opening sequence. Moses notes them in his narrative, but first we need to clarify the meaning of the word God. The English word God, numbered 430, represents a Hebrew plural word meaning deities in the ordinary sense, so the text needs to be changed to just deities. Moses first begins with the deities, the sky and the earth. He then fully describes how he got to the map. From the blank screen, then the surface of the sea, with the spirits of the deities moving and fading over the waters. Then gold letters light up the screen, and when gone, the sky was seen from the middle up above the waters. Next, the dry land appears, being the map page. Moses later describes the animal icons, starting with the bird above the land, in the sky, then on the land, the cow, a creeping thing, and a beast of the earth. From the deities seen earlier, regarding just the human faces, their likeness are the final icons on screen, male and female. The Genesis chapter 1 mystery has been solved, and the religious creation story disproved. Our report reveals 3 separate themes that describe imagery and contents from these CD-ROMs. For this CD-ROM, the menu structure begins at the Start Voyage screen. Then we literally wander around the desert as each active icon is selected in turn, always returning to the start screen with the rising sun, with the cycle repeated every time. Mark, perceiving this cycle as days, notes his time in the desert with the wild animals as 40, being the main icons, subheadings and common icons he visited, totaling 40. The temptation in the desert for 40 days mystery has been solved. While visiting this section, Mark reports upon these pictures. Up above the water in the sky, he saw the white sailboat cursor that flies around like a dove. And when clicked, he was taken to the map page, revealing wild beasts. The spirit like a dove mystery has been solved. Clicking on the icon geographically nearest Galilee on the map, he saw 2 brothers casting a net into the sea. Moving to the next picture, he saw a friend and his brother in the ship mending their nets. They left one person in a ship, and with the hired servants they went with him. The summoning the first disciples mystery has been solved. Mark continues describing many pictures from the CD-ROM through all his chapters, including seeing the temple cut in 2 from top to bottom, the body wrapped in linen, placed in a tomb, the 3 ladies attending to him, and when the tombstone is selected, the program crashes to a black screen, and literally, the tomb section is empty. Our report reveals that the life of Jesus stories are based upon pictures from this CD-ROM. The life of Jesus mysteries have been solved, with the religious supernatural stories being disproved. Encoded messages found in Genesis were published by Michael Drosnin, in Nostradamus by Ottavio Ramotti, in the Bible by James Strong, with a second layer of messages hidden in these books being found by Ronald Pegg, who then deciphered some of the works of Nostradamus, found a word code in the Bible stating original meanings, matched many prophecies to actual modern events from history books, identified the Michael described and named in the Bible, as well as the foretold Elijah. Nostradamus, when visited by a time traveller, was told all of this and was shown astronomical and historical information from these CD-ROMs, which he encoded in his various works. Regarding the quatrains, there should be 10 lots of 100, but here there are only 42. The missing 58 turned up 40 years after his death in the form of 6-lined verses. Discoveries from his other works verified earlier findings, especially the messages from the Bible which produced this timeline, but these sestats match to more historical events during this extended time period. From 583 descriptions of often dated subjects, events, themes and people, from 40 sestats, 8% were about the Catholic Church, 20% general history, 20% about the CD-ROMs, and 52% about the Pegg Project, its people, their activities, and what went wrong back in the past due to time travel encounters, and what was misunderstood that inadvertently spawned the world's myths, legends, and religions. Our report decoded 10 quatrains and 40 sestats, identifying over 30 general historical events, 9 Pegg Project people and over 70 activities, and over 40 compact disc descriptions from these CD-ROMs. The mystery of the encoded warning messages by Nostradamus has been solved. The time travellers often appeared in a bright light and were perceived as an elder or wise man, or as an angel. A couple visited Egypt and are depicted next to a table showing the knowledge discs as food offerings. In the Old Testament, Daniel reports 2 time travellers speaking to each other, then approaches one, named Gabriel, to ask questions. In the New Testament, John reports that one time traveller handed him a CD-ROM, while another told him that to reach the 7-sealed menu page, he had to go to the root directory and click on the file numbered 144,000. In the Old Testament, Ezekiel reports that a male time traveller was present, spoke to him, in his hand was a CD-ROM, and told him to look at all that he is shown and write it all down, such as describing the temple and the hole in its wall. In the New Testament, Zechariah reports that a time traveller gave his name as Gabriel. In the Quran, Muhammad reports that a time traveller named Gabriel brought the Quran's words to him. In the Book of Mormon, Smith reports that a time traveller appeared in his bedroom and said that he was a messenger and that his name was Moroni. The mystery of some reported angels and wise men, particularly 2 named Gabriel and Moroni, has been solved. They were time travellers, not supernatural angels as religiously perceived. These physical encounters with time travellers inadvertently spawned offshoot religions, but there are many other encounters where the time travellers themselves are not mentioned. Myths, legends, and religious stories were the result. We're seeing the computer, pictures, historical information, and videos were perceived as dreaming, visions, prophecies, and watches, while others called them signs. Regarding the case where a time traveller named Gabriel interacted with Muhammad, he compares 2 images from this CD-ROM by reporting that the sailing ship on the ocean is as big as this mountain, and calls it a sign. Our commentary reports upon 2 series of time trips noted throughout history, where computer technology, pictures from these CD-ROMs, and historical events from these books are described. Encoded messages found in various ancient writings were published by a select group of people. A second layer of hidden messages was found by an Australian researcher, with many religious texts describing computer technology and pictures from these CD-ROMs. Regarding these two CD-ROMs, the historical information from them was sometimes correctly perceived as future events and appear in the religious texts and the works of Nostradamus. This strange knowledge box, often looking like a bowl of water, was often perceived as an oracle, with the Queen of France calling the glass screen a magic mirror. Historical events from these CD-ROMs have been documented in the Bible. For example, Daniel reports where King Nebuchadnezzar was shown that his reign coincides with the current Roman monarchy, and after him comes the Roman Republic, then a third, the Roman Empire, that ruled all around the Mediterranean, and the fourth being the Holy Roman Church, which is the world religion reported in Daniel chapter 7, with the 10 kings that arise being the 10 listed Roman leaders from the history section. Our report reveals that biblically described events and named people are documenting actual historical events and people, with their timelines exactly matching to those stated in the Bible. As revealed in our previous news seminars in various religious and ancient texts, finding encounters with time travellers, depictions of their computer technology, descriptions of pictures and historical information from CD-ROMs, revealing hidden messages that dated and identified Bible prophecies, including 2 people who found codes in the Bible, is evidence of time travel back to the past. But why? If you have viewed all our seminars and read their associated reports, then you may already know. Our introduction book gently reveals that traditional religious views of Bible stories are based upon mistranslations, where incorrect words concealed and changed what was actually being reported. Misunderstandings, where retold stories missed certain points and added guesses to what was meant. And deliberate manipulations, where stories were amended with a new bias or political agenda, all of which spawned the various denominations and cults, with most creating their own versions of the Bible. For over 3,000 years, the traditional religious belief regarding Bible stories is that they are from a supernatural divineness, but the mysteries of the origin of the Bible stories have been solved, not divine, but due to human time travel encounters. This book summarises where CD-ROM pictures and historical events have been turned into Bible stories, providing a brief summary of explanations regarding Bible topics from the earlier seminars. This report reveals the contexts and findings that conflict with traditional religious views, lifts over 3,000 years of religious rhetoric, states other consequences, and previews the contents of this book. Be the first to reveal these new findings to the general public via a combination of television segments and associated printed books. To gain the rights to broadcast and publish, please contact ronpeggdiscoveries.com.au.